Welcome, Wild Country Daily Entertainment here. First off, I want to say this video, the original video is from Matt Brown, but this video comes from I Am Frank White. So all credit goes to I Am Frank White. Now, in this video, Matt Brown comes clean about being addicted to meth and alcohol. Now, today, the message is that he supposedly passed away. Some channel by the name of Granny. I'll leave her channel link in the description down below then when the video's done. But she's doing a live right now talking about the whole situation. Matt Brown has been struggling since he was on Alaskan Bush People. I don't know how many of you remember the show. I know I do. I remember watching him. I remember watching his mom and dad. I remember watching Bear. All of them. The whole family. He actually got kicked off the show. The show let him go because he was drinking. The story was they came out and said that he went to rehab, and he never came back on the show after that. And a lot of people didn't know what happened. I mean, we know he left the show, but we didn't know what happened. How is he? How is he doing? He was doing okay there for a little bit. He was living in Oregon and Washington State. He was seeing a girl, or maybe not seeing her, but I know he was staying with a girl. Her name was Jamie. I don't know what happened between him and Jamie, but something must have happened. Maybe she didn't like the addiction that he was on, because he was on meth and alcohol, and that's not allegedly, that's the truth. Hang on. Yeah, as I was saying, a lot of people didn't know what happened to him there for a little while. Then I noticed that he ended up being on YouTube. So I started following his channel. And I noticed that he was looking kind of rough. And a lot of people were starting to send him money because he was saying that he was going to do an adventure. He wanted to follow his dad's footsteps. And he just never followed through with it. And people felt like they were being scammed out of money, because they were giving him money, and then he'd go missing for a couple days, then he'd come back, then he would go missing for a couple days, then he would come back, and you could tell he was doing something because he had burnt marks on his lip. Just one of his last videos, maybe not his last, but one of his last videos on his smaller channel, because he has two of them. He has one channel that's at 65,000. Then he has another channel that just reached over 1,000, I think it was. In that one live on his new channel, you can see that he wasn't doing so good. He wasn't doing so hot. And I may have done a video on it. I don't know if I did or not. But he was sitting somewhere. It looked like he was sitting beside pond or water somewhere. And you could tell he was messed up. He was drinking. He was all over the place. And when I mean drinking, he wasn't drinking no water, no soda, no nothing like that. He was drinking a tall boy, one of them 16-ounce tall boys. And then he was just going on about this, going on about that. He was all over the place. You could tell he might have been up for a couple days, or he might have been, not feeling well because he couldn't find nothing maybe, but you could tell he was all over the place. Here's a video of I Am Frank White that found a video that was deleted, and he's letting it play. So I'm going to play this little part, and then we'll come back to it. Take a listen.
That's because I'm about at the end. No matter how long we pull it together, there's gonna be an end. Unless you reprogram. That's why they don't teach you, alright? If you reprogram, you can change things. So my ability to keep shit raining comes from my ability to keep my brain alright no matter what's going on in the world. We have to reprogram things. That's why they just like the Terminator.
He's talking about doing programs that it won't change you unless you work on your mind. And his mind needs to reset, and it's hard to reset his mind.
Right. We just reprogram it and everything is good. I can't.
See, he's saying if you reprogram your mind, then everything's good. But he's saying he can't.
Cannot get on that fucking bicycle with everything I have and head down Highway 97. It is not realistic.
Like I said, he was going to take an adventure. And now he's saying that he couldn't ride a bike down 97 with all the things, which I understand that point. But don't say you're going to do something and then not follow through, having people think that you're doing stuff and you're not. That's the problem. You were telling your viewers that you were going to do something and then you didn't follow through with it. It's not that they were upset because they were giving you money towards your goal. That's not what they were upset about. They were upset because they noticed that their money that they were giving you wasn't going towards anything except towards your habit. And like I said, the last video I watched of him, you could tell he hit rock bottom. Now here it is, a week later after I watched that video, maybe 2 weeks later, and he's gone. Addiction is a hell of a thing. So please, guys, if you're not addicted, don't go experimenting with drugs and alcohol. Don't. It's not worth it. A lot of us that's been through addiction have done it, so you don't have to do it. But that's not the only reason why we done it. We done it because we were stupid at the time. We weren't using our minds at the time. We maybe had things that happened in our lives, but that's no excuse to go out and harm your body, and that's no excuse to dabble into things that may ruin your body because things aren't going right in your life, because you can't handle life, because you can't deal with some of the consequences in life, because you can't be a man or be a woman and live the life that you're supposed to live. That's not a reason to go out and dabble into drugs and alcohol. What matters is that you, as a human being, to stay strong, to keep your mind sharp, so you don't fall into stress, so you don't fall into depression because you can't handle things in life. So you go to drugs and alcohol hoping that that's going to fix your problems, and it's not. It's just going to make your problems worse that you have in life, if that makes sense. Too many people have done drugs and alcohol and have passed because of complications from health, or because they just couldn't handle it no more and they just wanted to take their own life. And that's not the way to go. It's not. So let's listen to a little bit more.
Even if it was realistic, I still wouldn't have the ability to carry enough food and water to make it. Alright? If this was the end of the world and they started dropping bombs around here, yeah. Alright? I could do it. I could do it with you. You and I, we could do it, alright? It ain't. And it's not worth it. What is it? March? Yeah, it's March 19th. It was a Tuesday. Right around 11:30 p.m. Something happened in my life with someone that I liked a lot. I found out that there was someone that they liked a lot that wasn't me. So I got my backpack and my...
Right there in this video, you can tell that things are bothering him. You can tell that I don't want to accuse him of being on something, but you can tell a little bit just by the way his body gesture is. But he's coming clean. So that could be why his body language is the way it is. I don't know. Let's watch a little bit more.
I walked out.
Hang on.
Alright? I can't make it down Highway 97, alright? You're talking 50, 60 miles between stops. I can't make it like this. The coalition of haters, those guys give us all kinds.
He's calling his audience haters. And the reason why he calls his audience haters is because his audience saw through the bullshit that he was doing and started calling him out. And he didn't like how his audience was calling him out. So every time somebody would say something to maybe help him look, at things different, he didn't accept that. Instead of saying, hey, you're right, I am doing this wrong or that wrong, instead, he would say, oh, you're blocked, you're hating. And no, that nobody was hating. It's just they started seeing through his bullshit. They started seeing through his lies. If you want to watch the rest of this video, I will leave a link in the description down below. But please, guys, if you leave a comment, put prayers for his family and his loved ones and his friends that have tried to help him. And this is what I mean with the dirty sector. People roast and roast and roast every day. Yes, it makes it good entertainment. But we need to stop and think. Just because we want to have fun and have entertainment for people to watch, or because we want to have entertainment in ourselves to tear somebody else down or roast that person, sometimes you need to stop and think. What if their feelings get hurt? What if they go and take their lives? We need to stop and think sometimes and choose our words more wisely. I don't know. If you have anything to say, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah. Peace out.